Welcome to Toffee TV. It is 3 talking points. Burnley 1, Everton 1 at Turf Moor today. The first ever draw between the two sides in the Premier League. First point I'll talk about is Niels Nkunku. Once again, the youngster not in the 18 today, which is a strange decision for me. Not the fact that we're crying out for him to play, because I understand why the manager went with Fabian Delph at left back. Left footer, had no problem with that at all. A left wing back, left foot experience, that's fine. But knowing Fabian Delph's injury record and knowing what he's like, and also hasn't played many 90 minutes, I just don't understand why Nkunku wasn't sub. You've got 7 substitutes there. I just don't understand why he's not sub. Is it just simply because then he'd have to upset someone else? Or what? Because, okay, as it worked out, Ben Godfrey then done a great job today and went and played at left back, but as good a job as he did, he offered nothing going forward, did he? Because obviously every time he's running down the line, he's got to turn back, and I just feel as though really we should have had that backup on the left foot backup on the bench. And Nkunku, listen, we don't know whether he's good enough or he isn't good enough. He's played 4 first-team games. 3 of them I thought he'd done really well. In Newcastle, he didn't do great in, but it was his Premier League debut. The team was a bit different. We had a different structure to it. Whereas, at the moment, why not? I mean, now we've lost Dean. Delph looks like he's going to be missing for a couple of months at least with that hamstring. So, are we just going to go with... We're going to have to play Ben Godfrey out of position on the opposite side now for the next 3 months until Luca Dean's fit? Or are we going to actually give the kid a go with the left foot? So I just found it a little bit strange. I think if Fabian Delph was starting for me, I'd always have the backup, because we know his injury record now isn't great whatsoever. He hasn't played a lot of football. I thought that was strange. Second thing I want to talk about is the imbalance in Everton's team. And what I mean by that is we just don't look like a team. We look like 11 lads have turned up to have a game of footy. At moments when it clicks, they look really good. We sprung them a few times today with some lovely football. But then for the rest of the game, it's not there. And I just don't, and this isn't all on the manager because this is the squad he's got, but I just don't understand what we're trying to do. And I don't understand. See, for me, what the manager needs to do until he gets all of his own players or players that he trusts, or certainly his best team, with players back, he's got to put some kind of structure in place and go with it. Today we've gone with 3 at the back again. Iwobi's back over onto the right hand side. Delph's in now. One of the centre backs is back out and Yerry Mina's back in, which is fine. The manager can make whatever changes. But then half an hour in or whatever it was when Delph went off, we've gone back to a back 4 and gone 3-4-3-3 again. So I just think, for me, I'd just like him to choose one and stick with it, and then see if we can get the best the best people in those positions to carry us through. Because otherwise, we're just going to go like that. There's going to be some games when it might click and we'll win, but then games that we should be winning, I think will be the undoing of us, because there's no base level from Everton at the moment, and that comes down as well, of course, to personnel with the squad. But he's got this squad, so he's got to work with it. That's what managers do. And listen, Carlo Ancelotti's a brilliant manager. We know he is. His record speaks for himself. But he's going to have to come up with, or him and his coaching staff are going to have to come up with a structure and try to get us maybe he will turn around today and say, well, this wasn't a great performance today. It was a tough place and we've got to draw out of it. And correct, Pickford saved us getting beat. Sigurdsson's missed an opportunity to win it. So he's right. We had that, it's one of them. But I just want him to stick with something and try to move forward from it. Because at the minute, when you watch us, we just look like individuals. We don't look like teams. And we've watched them today. And, they've had no money to spend. And yet he's got a structure of the way they play. They all seem to know what they're doing. We look a little bit lost. And I think that's correct, because we just go through phases of the game where for 10 minutes we look really good and then it disappears again and we look like we're kicking it anywhere, or we're not on the same wavelength, or we're under hitting or over hitting passes. So for me, we've just got to try and get that balance right. And finally, just very briefly, I just thought I'd mention Jordan Pickford, because he has his critics. he's made mistakes, he's let poor goals in, you know, but I think today he's made a couple of really good saves that has got us a point. Okay, with the goal, could he have done better? I don't know. All I know is that it's another shot that's beaten him from outside the box, so that's something we've got to work on. I mean, why Michael Keane turned his back on the shot anyway, I don't know. If you're looking at the ball, you can get something on it. The minute you turn your back, what are you going to do? Unless it hits you. So maybe Keane could have done better. But Pickford, great save from Chris Wood on 2 occasions. One with his foot in the first half, which would have made the game 2-0 and it would have probably been over. And one from a header near the end, which was an important save as well. So I feel as though he does get, his critics, and rightly so, he's not being in great form. But I think sometimes you have to, say well done when he's done well. And I think today he's made a couple of really important saves that have been pivotal in us getting a point out the game. And I just thought it needed saying. There you go. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you later.